Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm 17 years old, and up until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had a pretty normal family. Sure, my parents could be distant sometimes, but I figured that's just how some people are. I never imagined they were capable of what they did. It started on a Tuesday evening. I was in my room studying for finals when my mom knocked on my door. Victoria, honey, can you come downstairs? Your father and I want to talk to you. Sure, just give me a second, I called back, saving my work. When I got downstairs, both my parents were sitting on the couch with these weird, tight smiles on their faces. My dad was fidgeting with his watch, and my mom kept smoothing down her skirt. Sit down, sweetie, Mom said, patting the armchair across from them. I sat, feeling uneasy. What's going on? Is everything okay? Everything's fine, Dad said quickly. Too quickly. We just wanted to discuss your summer plans. My summer plans? I was thinking about getting a job at the mall, maybe. Actually, Mom interrupted, we were thinking you might want to visit your Aunt Carol in Montana for the whole summer. I blinked. Aunt Carol? I barely know her. We've met, what, twice? Exactly, Dad jumped in. It would be a great opportunity to get to know that side of the family better. Something felt wrong. They were both talking too fast, their eyes not quite meeting mine. I don't understand. Why are you guys acting so weird about this? We're not acting weird, Mom said, her smile straining. We just think it would be good for you. You're almost an adult now, Victoria. You need to learn independence. By shipping me off to Montana? Dad stood up abruptly. You know what? Let's discuss this tomorrow. Your mother has a headache. Victoria, why don't you go pack a small bag? We're going to take a drive. A drive? Now? It's almost 9 o'clock. Just do it, Dad snapped, then softened his tone. Please, there's something we want to show you. Against my better judgment, I packed a small backpack and got in the car. We drove for almost an hour in complete silence, heading toward the industrial area on the outskirts of town. When we pulled up to an abandoned warehouse, my stomach dropped. Why are we here? I asked, my voice shaking. Just come inside for a minute, Mom said softly. We want to explain everything. I followed them into the dark building, my phone's flashlight the only source of light. That's when everything went wrong. Dad grabbed my arms from behind while Mom pulled out zip ties. What are you doing? I screamed, struggling against my father's grip. I'm sorry, Victoria, Mom said. And she actually sounded sorry as she fastened the zip ties around my wrists and ankles. But we need a fresh start. We've been planning to move to Costa Rica for years, and we can't take you with us. Are you insane? I was crying now, thrashing against the restraints. You can't just leave me here. Someone will find you, Dad said, not looking at me. We left an anonymous tip with the police. They'll come tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning? What if they don't? What if I die here? You won't, Mom said firmly, though her hands were shaking. We made sure of it. There's a water bottle right there, and the police will definitely come. Why are you doing this? I sobbed. Dad finally looked at me, his face cold. Because we're tired, Victoria. Tired of being parents. Tired of the responsibility. We want our lives back. We already sold the house, Mom added. Emptied the bank accounts. By tomorrow night, we'll be in Costa Rica starting over. Without you. People will look for me. They'll find you. No one will look that hard, Dad said cruelly. You don't have any other family nearby. Your friends will assume you ran away, and we'll be long gone. They turned to leave, and I screamed until my throat was raw. Please, please don't do this. I'm your daughter. Mom hesitated at the door, but Dad grabbed her arm. Don't, he said firmly. We talked about this. And then they were gone. I heard the car engine start, then fade into the distance. I was alone in the dark, tied up and abandoned by the two people who were supposed to love me most in this world. Chapter 2. I don't know how long I'd been screaming when I heard footsteps outside. My throat was raw, my wrists bleeding from struggling against the zip ties. Hello? Is someone in there? A woman's voice, cautious but concerned. Help, I croaked. Please help me. The door burst open, and a flashlight beam found me. A woman in her 40s rushed over, her eyes widening in shock. Oh my God! Oh my God, honey, what happened? She immediately started working on the zip ties with a pocket knife. I'm Sarah. I work security for the building next door. I heard screaming. My parents, I gasped as the ties came loose. They left me here. They're running away to Costa Rica. Sarah pulled out her phone. I'm calling 911 right now. Don't move. You're bleeding. Within 20 minutes, the place was swarming with police and paramedics. A detective named Morrison sat with me while they treated my wrists. Victoria, I need you to tell me everything, he said gently. Start from the beginning. I told him the whole story, my voice shaking. When I finished, his jaw was clenched tight. Do you know your parents' full names? Social security numbers? Any information about their plans? I know everything, I said, my fear turning to anger. They didn't think I was smart enough to snoop. I know their new bank accounts, their flight information, everything. I found emails when I borrowed my dad's laptop last month. I thought they were just daydreaming. Detective Morrison's eyes lit up. Where are these emails? They should still be on his computer. It's probably at the house unless they already got rid of it. What's the address? I gave it to him and he radioed it to other officers. Then he looked at me seriously. Victoria, I want you to know something. What your parents did? This is serious. This is child endangerment, abandonment, possibly attempted murder depending on how the DA looks at it. Do you understand that? Good, I said coldly. I want them punished. I want them to pay for this. Sarah, who'd been standing nearby, spoke up. She can't go back to an empty house. Where's she supposed to go? We'll contact Child Protective Services, Morrison said. For tonight, she'll probably stay at a receiving home. No, Sarah said firmly. She can stay with me. I'm a licensed foster parent. I've got room, and she shouldn't be in some institutional setting after what she's been through. Morrison looked at me. Would you be comfortable with that? I looked at Sarah, this stranger who'd saved my life, and nodded. Something in her eyes was kind, protective. The opposite of what I'd seen in my mother's eyes just hours before. The next morning, I was sitting in Sarah's kitchen when Detective Morrison called. Victoria? We caught them. They were at the airport. We got there just as they were about to board their flight. Are they in custody? Yes. They're being held without bail. But here's the thing. Your mother is already trying to make a deal. She's claiming the whole thing was your father's idea. That's a lie, I spat. She was the one who tied me up. I know, we have your testimony. But I wanted to prepare you. They're both going to try to spin this. Make themselves look better. Are you ready for that? I'm ready for anything, I said. I want to see them. I want to confront them. That can be arranged. There'll be a bail hearing tomorrow. You can give a victim impact statement if you want. I definitely want. Sarah put a hand on my shoulder after I hung up. You don't have to do this if you're not ready. I am ready, I said. They tried to throw me away like garbage. They need to know that I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly what they did. The courtroom was cold and sterile. I sat behind the prosecutor, my hands clenched in my lap, staring at the backs of my parents' heads. They were in orange jumpsuits, their hands cuffed. They hadn't seen me yet. When it was time for my statement, I walked to the stand. That's when they turned around. My mother's face crumpled when she saw me. My father's went pale. I didn't feel sorry for them. Not even a little bit. Hi, I said into the microphone, my voice steady. I'm the daughter these two people tried to murder. Victoria, my mother started, but the judge cut her off. Miss Chen, you'll have your chance to speak. Right now, this young woman has the floor. I looked directly at them. 3 days ago, you drove me to an abandoned warehouse. You tied me up, and you left me there to die. We didn't, Dad burst out. We called the police. We made sure— You made sure nothing, I said coldly. If Sarah hadn't been working late, if she hadn't heard me screaming, I'd be dead. The police didn't get your anonymous tip until the next morning. By then, I could have died of dehydration, hypothermia, or a dozen other things. My mother was crying now. Baby, please. We made a mistake. We were under so much stress. Don't call me baby, I cut her off. Don't call me anything. You gave up that right when you chose Costa Rica over your own child. The prosecutor stood up. Victoria, can you tell the court what your mother said to you in the warehouse? I took a deep breath. She said they needed a fresh start. That they'd been planning to move to Costa Rica for years. That they were tired of being parents, tired of the responsibility. They wanted their lives back. And your father? He said no one would look for me very hard. That my friends would think I ran away. He said they'd already sold our house and emptied their bank accounts. The judge looked at my parents with disgust. Is this true? My father's lawyer started to speak, but Dad interrupted him. We weren't thinking clearly. We love Victoria. We just wanted freedom. We wanted to start over. Without your daughter, the judge said flatly. We were going to send for her, Mom insisted desperately. Once we got settled, we were going to bring her down to Costa Rica. You're lying, I said loudly. You told me I had no other family. You said no one would look for me. You said you were done being parents. You didn't zip-tie someone you're planning to send for. Dad's face twisted with anger. You ungrateful little... We gave you everything. We fed you, clothed you, put a roof over your head for 17 years. That's your job, I shouted back. That's what parents are supposed to do. You don't get credit for basic human decency. We made one mistake, Mom was sobbing now. One mistake in 17 years and you're going to ruin our lives? I laughed, actually laughed. I'm going to ruin your lives? You tried to kill me! We didn't try to kill you, Dad said through gritted teeth. We made arrangements. No, you didn't. The police never got a tip. You lied about that too. You were just hoping someone would eventually find me, and if they didn't, well, you'd be in Costa Rica with a fresh start. The judge intervened. That's enough. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, you'll have your opportunity to present your case at trial. But I'm denying bail. You're both flight risks, obviously. Your Honor, please, Mom begged. We have jobs, we have... You had a daughter, the judge said coldly, and you tried to dispose of her. Bail denied, take them away. As the bailiffs led them out, my mother turned back to me. Victoria, please, we're sorry. We love you. Please forgive us. I met her eyes and said clearly, I will never forgive you. Never. My father lunged at me then, trying to break free from the bailiff. You vindictive little brat, after everything we did for you. Security tackled him, and he was dragged out screaming threats while my mother wailed. I just sat there, calm and cold, watching them disappear. The trial was 3 months later. Detective Morrison had built an airtight case. They had the emails, the bank records, the plane tickets. They had Sarah's testimony about finding me. They had the medical reports on my injuries. And they had me. I testified for 4 hours, walking the jury through every detail. My parents' lawyers tried to paint me as a rebellious teenager, tried to suggest I'd misunderstood their intentions. But the evidence didn't lie. The jury deliberated for 2 hours. Guilty on all counts: child endangerment, attempted murder, conspiracy, fraud. At sentencing, the judge gave them each 25 years. My mother collapsed, screaming. My father just stared at me with pure hatred. After the sentencing, I met with Detective Morrison and Sarah outside the courthouse. How are you feeling? Morrison asked. Honestly, relieved, I said. Is that weird? Not at all, Sarah said, putting her arm around me. You got justice. That's what matters. The prosecutor mentioned they'll probably appeal, Morrison added. Are you prepared for that? Let them appeal. The evidence is solid. I'm not worried. We were walking to Sarah's car when I saw my mother's sister, Aunt Carol, the one they'd wanted to ship me off to. She approached hesitantly. Victoria? I just wanted to say I'm so sorry. I had no idea what they were planning. Did you know they asked me to spend the summer with you? What? No. I haven't talked to your mother in over a year. We had a falling out. Of course, I said bitterly. Another lie. They probably figured if someone came looking, you'd say you didn't know anything. Carol's face fell. If I'd known, if I'd had any idea, I would have helped you. I know. It's not your fault. But I need to focus on moving forward right now. She nodded, tears in her eyes. I understand. But if you ever need family, real family, I'm here. After she left, Sarah drove us home, her home, which had become my home. We were almost there when my phone buzzed. An unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Victoria? My mother's voice calling from prison. Please, baby, you have to listen to me. I almost hung up, but Sarah caught my eye and mouthed, speakerphone. I switched it on. I'm listening, I said coldly. I know you're angry. I know you hate us. But we're your parents. We love you. We've always loved you. Can't you find it in your heart to forgive us? To give us another chance? Another chance to what? Finish what you started? That's not fair. We made a mistake. A mistake is forgetting my birthday, I interrupted. A mistake is missing my school play. What you did was attempted murder, and you're not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught. That's not true, she was crying now. We regret it every day. If we could take it back. But you can't. And even if you could, I wouldn't forgive you. You know why? Because you showed me who you really are. When things got hard, when you wanted something else, you were willing to kill your own daughter. That's not love. That's not even basic human decency. Victoria, please. I don't owe you anything. Not forgiveness, not understanding, not even this conversation. You're going to prison for a very long time, and I'm going to live my life. A good life. Without you. You'll regret this, she said, her voice turning bitter. When you're older, when you have kids of your own, you'll understand how hard parenting is. I already understand, I said. It's so hard that you tried to kill me rather than deal with it. And when I have kids, if I have kids, I'll never, ever do to them what you did to me. Goodbye, Mom. I hung up and blocked the number. Sarah pulled into the driveway and turned off the car, looking at me with concern. You okay? Yeah, I said, and I meant it. I'm actually great. For the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe. You know what I think we need? Sarah said with a smile. Ice cream. And maybe we can start looking at colleges. You're going to graduate soon, and you've got your whole life ahead of you. That sounds perfect, I said. And it did. Because while my parents were busy trying to erase me from their fresh start, I was building my own. A better one. One where I was wanted, valued, and safe. And they would spend the next 25 years knowing exactly what they'd lost. What would you do if your parents abandoned you? Have you ever faced betrayal from someone you trusted? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more true stories of revenge and justice.